on Animal Planet.
I'm interested in all three cars. I realized how rare the car was. There we go. People think that you just pay the guy the money and drive the car out of the garage. Not that easy.
We're about to take the cover off the first timing belt. Look at that nasty thing.
This car is quadrupled in value. I think it's a good time to sell. Let's go for a ride.
Okay.
Well, what'd you think? I'm Wayne Carini, and I chase cars. I find them, I buy them, and I sell them. It's all about the chase.
13.9 million.
Today, I'm following up on a really cool lead. I got a call from a local realtor who is representing a house that belonged to a car collector. The homeowner has passed away, so his brother George is going to show me the cars. 3 308 Ferraris. Supposedly, they're all low mileage. This I gotta see. 3 Ferraris in East Hartford. This must be George.
This is George.
Hi, George. Sure, how you doing? I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So where's the Ferraris? Let's see. All right.
These are my brother's 2 babies, as is. The last time he worked on them, the 79, I believe, and the 81.
Looks like he was working on them all. This one.
He loved to work on his Ferraris. That was his passion.
Yeah. So this car's got 8,400 original miles. Wow. That's low mileage. When did he buy it?
10 years ago or thereabouts.
Yeah. There's the paperwork on the dash. Maybe this will tell us. We bought this from Forza up in Connecticut here. It had 7,691 miles on it when he bought it. June of '07. He's got the seat out. Got some mildew in here, but that stuff cleans off pretty easily. Do you know if the manuals are around for it?
If he did, he kept them here.
Oh, yeah, there's an owner's manual right there, George. This is an owner manual for one of them. Let's see what year. USA version 79. So that's maybe for the blue car. Well, that's great. That goes with it. There's another owner's manual here. 308s are great cars because they were really the first highly produced Ferrari. Well, let's look at the other cars. This one is the 79.
Yes.
That's a very unusual color. I don't see that very often. And this one's got 9,200 miles on it. And it looks like he was starting to take it apart a little bit back here. You got the wheels off and the air cleaner off. I don't see the wheels. Is there any chance that the wheels are around somewhere?
Yes, I believe you'll find the cars here, Wayne. It's like a treasure hunt.
That's for sure. Hopefully this light works. Look at that. Oh, yeah, look at this. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, well, we know where the wheels are.
So let's go behind the house and look at the final piece of this fleet of fine motor cars.
All right.
My brother had a passion for Ferraris. He enjoyed them. He loved to drive them, work with them.
At least
he has it on rollers, covered.
He had it protected here.
Yes.
That's better than sitting out in the driveway.
I think this is probably my brother's favorite car.
This is an 82 with 6,515 miles. Wow, low miles. There we go. Great. It's good. So I'm interested in all 3 cars.
Yes.
So let's go back in the garage, try to figure out a price, and then if we can come to an agreement, I'll go to the bank, I'll get a bank check for you, and I can come today and pick them up.
What just happened?
I just negotiated a deal with George. On my way to the bank, get a bank check, and the shop truck's on its way. We're going to get these cars out of here this afternoon. People think that you just go in, you pay the guy the money, and drive the car out of the garage. Not that easy. All right.
It's a lot more convenient selling all three at one time, especially knowing they're going to Wayne. When I met Wayne, I knew that he enjoyed Ferraris. It was good to sell them to Wayne. Just losing the cars was almost like losing your brother. Oh, well. Bye-bye.
All right. And why don't you stop down? I'll call you when they're out and driving, and you and I will go for a ride. What do you think?
Got a deal.
You know, the 308, after I purchased the car, I realized how rare the car was. I mean, it's probably the lowest production Ferrari 308 that there was. Between 1981 and 1982, they only made 494, I think, cars. So therefore, its rarity makes it more valuable. And those were just the coupes. Because this is such a low production car, I think there'll be a lot of interest in it. So my plan is to do some maintenance, get it up and running, and see what I can sell it for. With this model Ferrari, there are a few service items that you want to look out for. And belt service is very important to these cars because if the timing belt breaks, it'll bend the valves, and basically you have to totally rebuild the whole engine. It could cost up to $30,000. So therefore, what we're going to do is change the belt, and it makes that much more saleable of a car when someone really has that in mind, that it's a fresh service. Well, we're waiting for the belt to arrive today, and we just so happen to be selling a 430 Spider, which is one of Ferrari's newest cars. There's so many differences between an older Ferrari and a newer Ferrari. Here we've got 485 horsepower approximately, 6-speed electronic hydraulic transmission and a paddle shift. It's a fabulous car. We've had this car on a consignment basis with us for a few weeks, and we were able to finally sell it the other day. So we're out doing some testing, make sure the car runs properly. We're putting some miles on it today, getting ready to do the emission test, register it, and then it's off to a new owner. Let's go racing. The computer tells the hydraulic system to shift the car. So it's not an automatic transmission, it's actually a manual transmission that's shifted electronics over hydraulics. It's an amazing system, and it happens so fast.
What's really cool, too, is that you don't have to let your foot off the gas pedal. You just pull the shifter back, and the computer lowers the RPM, shifts it into the next gear, and brings it up to where it was before, wherever your foot is. I like to shift a car, don't get me wrong. I like the clutch, I like the feel of shifting a car, but boy, this is unbelievable. What's really cool is going fast, of course, but in a car like this, you feel so safe while you're going fast. Well, these cars have a red line of about 8,500 RPMs. I'm not going to drive it that fast, but it's amazing that an engine per minute can be 8,500 to 10,000 RPMs in a car like this. If I could only do my laundry in this, I'd probably buy this instead of a house.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life.
It is the worst tattoo I've ever seen.
I hate it.
I lost a bet.
May look like a male body part. A wiener.
I need to fix it or rip off my leg.
I just want it gone.
I need to get this covered up.
You have a new tattoo.
America's Worst Tattoos. Sunday nights at 10:40 on D-Max. A car may look and sound like $1 million, but how much would it go for on the auction block?
I think it brings at least $75,000.
Every week, experts and owners size up iconic classics in a quest to answer one driving question.
What's the number?
80,000.
I think it will go at 90 grand.
I think she'll bring $1,725,000.
The gloves come off.
52.5. Yes, sir.
The hammer comes down.
Sold. Your car's
What's My Car Worth? A new season starts Monday, 2nd of January on D-Max.
Here's your chance, Wayne. Run me over.
Here, I got a present for you.
Oh, no.
Box of belts.
What did I do this time? 1, 2, 3, 4. This has got air conditioning?
Yeah, air conditioning, alternator,
and
timing belts, and idlers. Supposedly the belts had just been done, but there was no proof. I believe it was done previously, but there's no documentation to that. Unfortunately, the owner passed away, and we can't ask him that question, and his brother couldn't find any documentation in the house. With that in mind, do a belt service in the car, change the tensioners, you make sure the water pump isn't leaking, and you change the timing belt and all the drive belts like on the air conditioning and the alternator.
I should make air gun noises, but I don't feel up to it today. There you go. Wait a minute. Oh, God, there's an engine.
Well, they look like new belts. That's nice and clean. So you should be ready by lunch?
Lunch. What day? Are you going to be picky on the day? A little loose. I wonder if she's still got gas in the cutting torch. Maybe if we cut the chassis a little bit. I think it's going to take a while.
Why did they make this so difficult?
Because they can. We're about to take the cover off the first timing belt. Ta-da! Look at that nasty thing. It's been in there a while because see the pulley line down the center? That means it's been going over these pulleys for a while. We will endeavor to find timing marks on the pulley. Now, all we have to do here is quite simple. We have to do that to this side. And I don't have much of a clue on how to do that. Because as you can see, this is not an easy job. The tension's good on the belt, but Wayne's right. If you don't change it, it'll break.
While Roger continues work on the belt service for the 308, I'm going to give a final once-over to a 275 I'm selling for a friend. This is a great car. It's a 1966 Ferrari 275 GTS. They made 200 of these cars. And what's really cool about it is this car's totally original. There's Ferraris around, but then there's ones that really tug at your heartstrings, and this is one of them. I used to have this car. I used to own this car. It was brought to me on a consignment basis a few years ago, and I purchased it. I sold it to a really good friend of mine. Sort of reluctant in selling it, but I did. And so the gentleman that I sold the car to has decided to sell the car now. He feels that it's the correct time to sell the car and move on to something else. So I have the car back here at the shop. We're not going to do any restoration on the car because it's totally original, but all we're going to do is clean it. And I have an appointment to show it tomorrow. And with the original 41,000 miles, where do you find another one? A gentleman here in Connecticut bought it brand new at the factory. He ordered it special with vinyl seats, which was an unbelievable thing to think of back then, that you would take away the leather seats and replace them with vinyl. But he did that, and he saved $46. It still has the original vinyl seats in it. This is a 12-cylinder front engine car. So this has a single overhead cam per bank and 3 Weber carburetors. It's got twin distributors, twin oil filters. This is a 2-cam engine. just a proven engine. Knowing this car for so long, I know this car is original. There's no overspray around the edges here. You can tell the car's never been apart. All these bumpers are totally original, has the correct screws in them. That's what makes this car so special, is that it hasn't been apart and then been put back together again. It is as it left the factory. The hose clamps are correct. It has the correct radiator cap. The horns are great. That's a Marshall Roadmaster horn, but this has got the original horn on it. And the horn is nothing more than an air compressor, and then there's 2 trumpets down in the front. So you're able to have a little air compressed, goes through a hose down to the horn, and they blare out this beautiful Italian horn sound. Can't be duplicated by any other horn. Everything's correct on the car, and that's what makes a big difference. It didn't used to be that way, but thank goodness collectors have finally come around to what is really a terrific car, is the most original car that's out there. We're getting it ready to show to the client. We've taken the wheels off, so we're cleaning the wheels now. Making sure the suspension is clean. Checking out the suspension components and the brakes to make sure that they're up to par, making sure the brakes are good. Then we're going to get into detailing the engine compartment. We'll change the oil. We'll make sure that the antifreeze is topped off and brake fluid is fresh. And then we're doing some detail work to it, buffing the paint. Get it as clean as we can, because we can't do anything to it other than refresh it and make sure that it's clean, because it's so original. This is an unbelievable car. Never painted, never re-chromed. The interior is dead original. The dashboard is beautiful. It's got the original top on it. And even though the top has some fading and some wearing of the material, it's just beautiful. You would never want to touch that top. Just a fabulous car to drive. One of the most comfortable Ferraris to drive, too. The seating position is great. The shifting, the stopping, everything about this car works. And then you get the top to go down. It's a huge added plus. You know, the one thing about Ferraris is back in the 50s and the 60s, Ferraris were 12-cylinder front-engine race cars. Then along came rear-engine race cars. And so the engines moved to the back. So you have Le Mans cars, so 250 LM. Then you had Formula One cars, 312s. And therefore, it was a natural succession for Ferrari to be able to move the engine to the back of the car so that it was the same as their race program. This is a 12-cylinder front-engine, rear-drive car, and it followed the era. Sold this car approximately 9 years ago. And over that period of time, this car has quadrupled in value. These cars have escalated in price so dramatically, it's been unbelievable. So because of that, the way the market's going, I think it's a good time to sell if somebody's sort of fearful of, will the market stay at the present level, or will it start to come back down? And I really believe that for the buyer, it's a great time to buy a car like this, because I still think there's a lot of growth in this car. Who knows? This could be a $2 million car within the next 5 years. The client that I'm selling it for has certainly got a lot of enjoyment out of it. Now it's time to pass it on to somebody else. So while the Ferrari 308 was in the shop getting the belt service done, Mike got a call from a potential client. He's going to come over and test drive the car as soon as we got it back together. So we're just pushing Roger along to get the belt service done, and we might have this car sold. All right, come on, go for a ride. It's a nice day. A client of mine has arrived to test drive the car and hopefully buy it. Now, you've been a Porsche guy, I understand.
Yep.
Getting back into Ferraris or back into Ferraris?
No, just first time.
First time, all right. There's the red beast. Just put a license plate on it here. All right, let's go for a ride.
Okay.
So we just did the belt service to it.
Comfortable car to drive. Yeah, you for your height, but you fit in really well. Yeah, this feels just beautiful.
Well, what'd you think?
Love it.
All
Absolutely
right.
love it.
Well, let's see if we can do some paperwork and get you put in the driver's seat.
All right.
A gentleman showed up this afternoon to take a test drive in the Ferrari, took a drive up the street. He's in love with this car, and he's buying it. So thank goodness. Belt service is done. Have the car sold already. It was a great garage find in East Hartford. I'd like to find more like that, I can tell you. The other two 308s needed more work than I have time for right now. So I sold them wholesale to another dealer who I know will find good homes for them. Well, I sold the 275. We've been working on the deal for quite a while, but finally able to put it together. The car is going to be going out of state, and I know the new owner is going to cherish it as much as my friend has in the past.
This is a 1910 Stoddard Dayton and a 1913 Hudson.
Oh, yeah, now it's a speed demon now.
Yeah, don't ever get near that.
We're going to go over to Roger with this one, guys.
Hello there.
Gonna go. So here I am at Hershey. I've got 3 cars in the car corral. Well, I'm asking $295 as well as a car at the RM auction.
Lot 151 is the 1909 Shock Model K Runabout.
I'm Wayne Carini, and I chase cars. I find them, I buy them, and I sell them. It's all about the chase.
13.9 million. Whoa!
I'm here in Northern California to look at a brass car collection. I got an email from a family member that owns the cars and told me they had a Stoddard Dayton, a Hudson touring car, and a Oldsmobile Curve Dash Olds. Brass cars are really making a strong comeback. They're a great, fun car to drive and with superb history. So I'm going to take a look at them, and hopefully I can buy them all. Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm Lauren Giacometti.
Lauren, nice to meet you.
This is my son, Ed.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Yes.
Where are those cars?
Oh, you're here.
I drove up to the house and met Lauren, and he opened the garage door. I had no idea what was there.
Come on in, take a look. See what we have, Wayne.
Whoa, look at that.
This is a 1910 Stoddard Dayton and a 1913 Hudson.
It was the Hudson and the Stoddard Dayton. Boy, you open that garage door and see those classic brass cars sitting in there. Unbelievable. They're both 4-cylinder cars.
This is a 4-cylinder?
Yeah, except for this has got a lot more horsepower than that, I take it.
Correct. This is 50 flywheel horsepower, 4 3/4 bore, 5-inch stroke.
That engine was way ahead of its time.
Hemispherical combustion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way ahead of its time.
Yeah. So how long has it been in your family?
This car's been in our family, I would say 45, 50 years almost now.
Is that right? When did you guys restore this?
The restoration was finished probably about 30 years ago.
Do you know if this is the original body
These are not the original parts, but they're authentic parts.
Okay. But the engine and the chassis are
running
original
gear
to
is
itself.
completely original, yes.
Okay. Looking at a car that's that old, you have to ask certain questions. And one is this an original body on the car? Because a lot